respected Hema Madam, dignitaries on the stage, including Professor and Head Department of Orthopedic Surgery, CEO, Academic Director of this remarkable Preeti institution, the Department of Anesthesia, headed by Dr. Balaji, ably supported by Dr. Suresh and the team. This meeting being ably supported by the Indian Society of Anesthesiologists, Madurai City branch, which is a dynamic and vibrant branch, President Dr. Vairav Rajan and Secretary Dr. Vel Murugan, fellow faculties who shared their pearls of wisdom during the panel discussion, where 2 hours went like 2 minutes with so many insights, so many important take-home messages that's being given. Such a pleasure to share this dais with all of you, and thank you for being here, for sharing your expertise and knowledge. And thanks to all the delegates who are present here and who were present here before, for being a part of a process of evolving into a holistic anesthesiologist, a capable anesthesiologist, an anesthesiologist who can preserve the life and prevent the pain. And I think if every single anesthesiologist decides to do this, we will emerge as one of the most sought after specialization in the whole world. And I'm very happy that Preeti Anesthesia Update is marching towards that, to spread and share this expertise and knowledge with every anesthesiologist who's willing to equip himself and herself with the updates that are happening. And thank you so much for doing this, Dr. Balaji and Suresh, but I wanted to compliment Sivakumar sir and Hema Madam for making this happen. In fact, every private hospital, when it is built, every square meter is measured in terms of the returns that it will offer to the institution. And if you see such a massive auditorium and 2 adjacent halls where this is not commercial. This is a dedicated service for promoting academics in all specialties of Preeti Hospital without taking into consideration what returns is this place going to give. It may not give returns commercially, but it can give returns in terms of blessings from Almighty, because every academic event that happens here enriches a doctor, whichever specialty it is. Because of the enrichment, they go and serve with the enriched knowledge, making sure they contribute to the best to the patient, and in that process, prevent a death from happening. And the blessings that arises out of that is multitude and cannot be compared to the commercial value this can offer. But only very few institutions do this. And thank you, madam, and please convey our regards to sir, for both of you for thinking with so much of generosity and promoting this and promoting all the departments to, you didn't focus only on orthopedics or obstetrics and gynecology, but you're also giving importance to all the other specialization, making them a part of the family. It's a clear sign that Preeti Hospital will be a shining example of how clinical work and academics have to go hand in hand. Thank you so much for doing this so profoundly, madam. And I feel a great privilege and pleasure to be a part of this update, get inspired by what you do as an institution, and so happy to see that it is percolating to several parts of this country. It's just not that it's happening in the metro cities, but also smaller cities can do meetings of equal relevance with excellent enrichment. I'm really pleased to be here. And when Dr. Balaji and Suresh met me, they said that after the academic talk is over, during the inaugural, I need to share some thoughts on my journey as an anesthesiologist and some of the anecdotes of life which I think was very crucial and important. And it's completely a pure non-academic talk. And I'll make sure that I'll keep it as short as possible. And I'm extremely thankful for giving me this opportunity to share the thoughts. I just wanted to, I have multiple stories, but today I thought I'll take up one story from being an anesthesiologist working in a private hospital in the city of Coimbatore. From there to become the president of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists. Is this possible? Or if it's possible, why was it possible? Is it political, or is it more than that? So that are the questions, and also to make everyone believe, irrespective of the place where you work, if you have the goal, the aim, and the vision to do what you want to do, you can achieve all that you want to achieve. So I just thought I will start my journey in regional anesthesia. So this was way back in 1999. I didn't know anything about, I studied my DA in BJ Medical College, Pune, and I did my MD anesthesia from PGH Chandigarh. In both the institutions, when I did the post-graduation, regional anesthesia was only paresthesia technique, and we always thought that eliciting a paresthesia is the way to do the block. That's exactly the regional anesthesia that I know of, and sometimes it would work, sometimes it never used to work, but we never put the blame on us. We always put the blame on the patient. We tell the surgeon he's very anxious, and then you put a general anesthesia, but you never accepted that your block failed. That was the regional anesthesia that I knew when I was a postgraduate. So in 1999, through the Rotary International, there was a program called Group Study Exchange, where they send professionals between the age group of 25 to 40 years to a different country on a 1 month program, completely funded by Rotary International, and you stay in Rotary host homes. This is called the Group Study Exchange, and I'm very fortunate to have got selected in this. I was the only doctor in the group of 4, led by a Rotary team leader. But in the 4 weeks that you stay, I went to Seattle, United States, the place where Microsoft is situated. On one day of the week, you can choose a vocational day where you can visit a hospital of your choice. So since I was working in Ganga Hospital, I started working in Ganga in 1995. Since I was working there, I thought I will go and visit institution which does trauma, which does orthopedics. And like that, I chose few hospitals, and one of them was Virginia Mason Medical Center in Seattle. So on that particular day, it was fixed by the Rotary for me. I stayed in a Rotary host home, and this host dropped me, and the operating theater started at 6:30 in the morning in Seattle, in Virginia Mason Medical Center. So my host dropped me at 6:20, and as we entered the lobby, there was a tall doctor sitting there, should be in his 60s, and he walked towards me and asked, "Are you Dr. Bala from India?" I said, "Yes." And he introduced himself, and he was head of Department of Anesthesia of Virginia Mason Medical Center. Learned my first lesson. You may be the head of the department, but you have such a commitment that there is a visitor coming through Rotary at 6:30, so he was present in the lobby at 6:20 in the morning. I was a non-entity. I was very small. I had just finished my MD. I was 6 years after MD, but I was complete non-entity. But here was the head of the department was there to receive me. A big lesson that I learned, that it is not the position that you hold, but what you hold inside your mind for a particular job that you are assigned. Second, he took me to the changing room, and he said, "Dr. Bala, we did not know what size fits in, so they gave one cupboard. There was one small size, one medium size, one large size, one extra large size, 4 shirts and scrubs, the surgical scrubs that were kept. In everything it was written Dr. Bala." So they said, "This name is very new to Americans, so we don't want them to pronounce your name wrong. That's why we have written the name in all the shirts, and whichever shirt suits you, you can take it." So this was the second take-home message I got. The level of precision and the thought process, it was just not that somebody is coming and let them wear whatever they want. It was not kept to my choice, but the second big lesson that I learned that day. Then little did I realize that Virginia Mason Medical Center was the hub of regional anesthesia activity of the American Society of Regional Anesthesia way back in 1999. And that was the center where Regional Anesthesia Pain Medicine Journal was getting published from, and Joseph Neal, who was working in the hospital, in the department, was the editor-in-chief of Regional Anesthesia and Pain Medicine. I never knew it. So the whole day when I spent there, I started first ever time seeing ultrasound-guided blocks being given at a time when it was a non-entity. And I was so surprised that blocks can be so comfortably given and the results, outcomes can be so good. And at the end of the day, the head of the department of Virginia Mason, with whom I was attached, I was there with him, shadowing him the whole day. Finally, when the day ended, he asked me, Dr. Bala, you have been with me the whole day. I just wanted to tell you, I am also the current president of American Society of Regional Anesthesia, which he never told. So humble. And what can I do for you? So I said, sir, is it with a lot of hesitation? Because, you know, you were young, born in India, very humble. The minute you see white skin, you become all the more terrified. You don't know how to speak, what to speak. And when he asked what exactly you want, so I told, so can I become a member of American Society of Regional Anesthesia? He said, why not? Have you got $75 with you? I've been instructed by my host to always carry $100 because if I get lost, I should get a cab and then come. So always I was carrying $100 with me. So I said, sir, I have $75. So he took me to his secretary's office and I paid $75 and I became the member of American Society of Regional Anesthesia. Now, he asked the secretary, that was not a digital era, it was all in a book form. So he asked, take the world directory and see how many Indians are members of American Society of Regional Anesthesia. So she went through the book, she took the I page and I was, to my utter surprise, Iran was there, Iraq was there, Ireland was there, but no India was there. So she said, nobody from India is a member of American Society of Regional Anesthesia as of today. So it became possible that I could become the first member of American Society of Regional Anesthesia. But now, that's not important. Now, what happened because of that? Because of that, I started receiving the Regional Anesthesia Pain Medicine Journal every 2 months. So this was the biggest treasure of what I got from visiting the Group Study Exchange program. So every 2 months, this journal came in, and never ever before as an anesthetist, I have read something in regional anesthesia that was given in these journals. I still preserve all the journals in my home because that was my Bible. And now I spoke to my 2 other anesthetists, Dr. Ravindra Bhatt and Dr. Shekhar sir. Only 3 anesthetists were in Ganga Hospital at that time. We had only 4 operating theatres. But from there now we have become 94 anesthesiologists, 38 theatres, but that was a long journey of 3 decades. So we started reading the book, started learning ourselves about how to do the blocks. And from 1999 to 2005, initially it was paresthesia, then we started using nerve stimulator. And in 2005, we perfected the art of upper and lower limb block. There was no chest wall blocks, no abdominal wall blocks. But we became proficient in using peripheral nerve stimulator for doing the blocks. So we asked our chairman, Dr. Rajshekharan sir, we were never taught in our post-graduation to give a perfect block. So can we also open this facility for people to come and train for at least 1 week? So they agreed. So in 2005, we signed an agreement with B. Braun and Esculap Academy Guidance. We started the Esculap Academy Guidance Center, free of cost teaching. Anybody can come, 4 doctors at a time, 1 week. We started this program, and I'm very, very happy to share. From 2005 until 2019, until the COVID struck, we have trained more than 1,400 anesthesiologists from all over this country and outside the country in the nuances of initially with peripheral nerve stimulator, and 2007 onwards we started using ultrasound. Now, having done this, in 2012, we started the first postdoctoral fellowship in nerve block and pain management affiliated to MGR University, and we created a curriculum for that. And 2014, the World Federation of Society of Anesthesiologists, we got an email from them saying that can we also teach people from outside India, especially from Africa and Southeast Asia. And the then Educational Committee Chair, Dr. Wayne Morris from New Zealand, came and visited Ganga Hospital, saw the infrastructure, and he said, I think you have enough clinical load to teach. And that began the new MOU between Ganga Hospital and the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists in 2014. And now I'm happy to share that we have trained 38 anesthesiologists from 18 countries who stayed with us for 6 months. So now we have students in most of Africa. So Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Myanmar, Philippines, Indonesia. We have now students everywhere, and this became, and now even now the process is continuing. So now, at the end of it, every student after 6 months have to give a secret report to the World Federation on what this institution offered to them. And surprisingly, and I'm very happy to share that all of them had given extremely good feedback about the institution. So what happened was, because of this, in 2020, I got a call from the London office asking me to apply for the member of the Educational Committee of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists. So never ever you thought that when you start teaching people that this offer will come. So this made me to get into the echelons of the WFSA, the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists. I became a member of the Educational Committee and served it for 4 years. And when this happened, when I was completing the term, I reapplied for the Educational Committee because it offered a lot, because the Educational Committee comprised of people from across the world. There were about 12 people from across the globe, lot of learning, and I thought I should continue to serve the Educational Committee. So that is when I got a call from the London office saying that we recognize your good work in the member of the Educational Committee, so we want you to apply for the secretary post of the World Federation of the Society. This was never in my radar, or never I thought to aspire to be taking this position. And I asked them, what is the responsibility? They said, today is the last date to file your nomination, and the 30th was the deadline. And here was my problem, because the next day, 1st November to 5th November, I was contesting for the president of Indian Society of Anesthesiology. Election was due next morning, and 30th evening I get a call. Then I told the office that I'm applying for my national president post. I don't know whether I'll be able to do both the positions together. They said, currently you file it, because after you, today if you leave it, you can't apply. You apply later. If you get elected, if you want, you can withdraw. So I applied for the position, and November 1st to 5th was the elections, and fortunately, thanks to all of you, I could become the president of Indian Society of Anesthesiologists after winning the election. And now I called the London office and said that now I've got elected as the president of the Indian Society of Anesthetists, and I want to withdraw from the secretary of the World Federation of Societies. So the officer said, that's fine, that's up to you if you think you cannot handle, but I want to tell you that it's so difficult for an Indian to become a part of the board of the World Federation. Please do not withdraw now. Give some more time and then think whether you want to continue or not. So then I spoke to a lot of my colleagues. They said, please go ahead, we'll see what happens. I asked my wife in particular. She said, yes, go ahead. So I continued. Now the story comes. Now it was an election. I faced one more first election in the country. Now it was an international election. In the World Congress of Anesthesia in Singapore in 2024, there is a General Assembly, and this is a global voting. And United States had 36 votes because number of votes is based upon the dues that you pay to the World Federation. So they had 36 votes, and India had only 5 votes. And there were totally 238 eligible votes from 146 countries. And you are not supposed to campaign, and only a letter of intent that you need to give to the headquarters, which will be circulated, but you are not supposed to campaign. And against me was an American and a Tanzanian. And America had 36 votes, and we had 5 votes. And you are directly confronting an American with 36 votes, with 5 votes. It is 5:36. But it did not produce anything inside me because I didn't ask for this post. I never wanted to be the secretary. And even if I lose, nothing will happen to me because it was not my prerogative. So I was sitting calmly and quietly inside. And when the results were announced, even for me, it was difficult to believe that I defeated the American in the election, and I won the election as the Secretary of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthetists. And even inside me, I was wondering how was this possible. And when I came out, many people came and told me, I am coming from Rwanda. Your student told me to vote for you. I coming from Zambia. Your student told me to vote for you. So now, what you thought for somebody at some point of time reflected back on you getting those votes. And to top on this, when I went to South Korea, the 2025, the president of American Society of Anesthesia was there, Dr. Ronald Arnold. So in the tea time, he came towards me and said, Dr. Bala, you don't know me, but I know you. I said, sir, I also know you. I just listened to your talk. He said, can we spend 5 minutes over lunch? I want to talk to you. I said, yes. And the talk was, he said, I want to sign an MOU with ISA. I hear that you will be the president. I want to sign the MOU. After all the discussion was over, I derived all the courage. And I asked him, how did you know me? So he said, in Singapore, I voted for you. I said, oh my God, American Society President, American candidate. And he says that I voted for you. Then for 1 minute, I was very quiet. And then I asked, may I ask this question if it's not inappropriate? Why did you choose to vote for me when there was an American on the race? So he said, out of the 36 votes, I can say 20 votes went for you. And that was influenced by a common decision made by us that we found out your contributions to the World Federation as a member of the Educational Committee versus our own American who was contesting against you. We thought the country was not important, but the performer was more important, and we decided to vote for you. So I just wanted to share with you that one day at Virginia Mason Medical Center, learning a block, then trying to share it with fellow colleagues, being appreciated by the World Federation, asking to share it to the world, and that resulting in you defeating somebody is a story that I thought I should share with everyone. And as a secretary, when you started performing diligently 3 months ago in the board meeting, when I became the secretary, it was the first ever time that an Indian became a secretary of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists, because it's a very tight system. Board has got 7 people, then there is a council, then there's a committee. Even to enter a committee is very difficult. So to go to the board is extremely difficult, especially if you're born in countries like this. You're never in the reckoning. It's always been with the high income countries. So I told myself that we need to prove that India is nowhere inferior. So we started performing, and I'm so happy to share that when this WFSA board meeting 3 months before it came in, and the current president, Dr. Daniela Filippescu, in the board meeting said, now it's the time for the board to decide on the future leadership. And next board meeting, we have to derive the strategy on who will be the president-elect. So that was the statement was made, and I want to share with you today. Apart from me, 6 are in the board. Within the next 1 week, I got calls from all of them individually and said, Dr. Bala, I think you should go for it. We are not going to contest against you. And each one defined their roles, and they gave me a free role. And the next board meeting, when it was convened, it was announced by them that I will be the board choice for the president-elect. And but still, there were 8 more people in the world who were eligible to contest against me because of their previous positions. And I was definitely didn't want to take an election because I thought elections are enough. So I wrote back to I wrote to all the 8 of them. I said the board has nominated me, but in case if you are going to contest, I'm not going to contest. But I want to share with you, all the 8 from different parts of the world wrote to me saying that this time it's for India. And nobody contested against me and got elected unopposed as the president-elect of the World Federation. First time an Indian, second time an Asian has going to this position. So, but I'm also happy to share in this process, when I became the secretary, I thought it is too important that just me alone cannot change everything. India has to be globally visible, and more people have to come inside this. And when all the positions were announced, I kept on telling people who matter in this country, and I'm very happy to share. I will only tell them to apply, but I never influenced, because in the highest echelon of global thing, you are never supposed to influence. The minute you start influencing, you lose your credibility. You're never supposed to influence. But at the same time, I want Indians to come up who deserve it. So I asked them to up. I will tell them this, it has come. Please, if you think you have time, please apply for it. I'm very, very happy to share that the biggest learning platform of the World Federation is the Anesthesia Tutorial of the Week. Biggest platform. And the Anesthesia Tutorial of the Week, 1 article is published every week. And it's the biggest tool of learning for WFSA. I'm happy to share now. The editor-in-chief of Anesthesia Tutorial of the Week is from India. It's Dr. Anju Griwal. And the next biggest learning platform that has come is AOLC, which is going to change the conceptualization of digital learning. And I'm very happy to share that among the 14 applicants, the top 2 applicants who were chosen, both from India, and both shared the editor-in-chief, Dr. Rakesh Garg and Dr. Geeta Nath. So the 2 big learning platform of WFSA is with India now. And I'm also happy to share that yesterday's announcement, there are 11 committees that are there in the WFSA. Happy to share that there is 1 Indian in all the committee of the World Federation of Societies of Anesthesiologists, and 2 committees, the chair is an Indian. So the presence of India has to be felt globally because we richly deserve it. Gone are the days that we need to remain the psychological slaves of the Western world which ruled us. Time has come to show the world that we are inferior to none, and the way to do it is to percolate and permeate the hierarchy and show them what India has accomplished and achieved. And it becomes very crucial to create this visibility. And I thought that this is a story which I thought I should share it today, because all that started, the nucleus was that one day of becoming a member of regional anesthesia and pain medicine. And then from there, you never knew that you can climb up the ladder just because you were interested in teaching, you were interested in sharing. So I wanted to share this journey with everyone, that if we start doing things for the benefit of others, in the interest of patient welfare, it will bounce back to you without you asking for it. And I think this is probably the take-home message that I wanted to give. And the topic I gave today when it was asked, when I was invited for the Pan-Arab conference, and when I went there, they asked me to stay for one more day. The chairman of Dubai Health took me to, whole day I was with them, he took me to their Center of Excellence in Dubai. They're trying to compete with the best in the world in terms of laboratory research and clinical research. When I went inside, the first statement I saw, in the race of excellence, there is no finish line. That was such a profound statement that when Dr. Balaji asked, I said, the topic I wanted to share is in the race of excellence, there is no finish line. You may have achieved so much, but there is so much more to achieve. If all of us think that we need to accomplish more, not content with what you have got today, I'm sure this country is going to prosper and progress profoundly, because individual excellence results in institutional excellence results in national excellence, and then once we achieve national excellence, we will become globally visible. I think this is exactly what each one of us have to do, whatever we do. Dr. Balaji mentioned that I was not in my home even one weekend. I visited 34 cities, 18 states, 8 countries in this last 1 year, and met several people, and I've understood several concepts, promoted World Congress of Anesthesia to make people present, and I'm truly happy to share, when the abstract submission got over on the 30th of October, it was declared among the 153 member countries, the maximum abstract submission for the World Congress of Anesthesia in Marrakesh, Morocco in April 2026 is from India. India has got 260 abstract submissions, the largest ever of all the countries that are attending the World Congress. I think this is the path that we need to take, and I wish that all the seniors and the juniors who are sitting here should introspect, should look at being globally visible in a way to contribute to this nation. We should not feel very happy when an Indian cricket team wins a match. What did we do for that? Nothing. We celebrated. When Chandrayaan was put on the moon, we became so happy, India, India, India. But we didn't do anything for Chandrayaan. If we have to do anything for our specialty, then if you prove that I proved anesthesia to be one of the best in the Indian anesthesia to be best in the world, that is the day that I should feel happy that I have contributed something through my specialization to the country, and the country is being recognized. And I wanted all the anesthesiologists present here to take up on themselves just not spinal anesthesia, one block, one GA, one extubation, and feel very happy and satisfied that they are an anesthetist. You have to go much more beyond this comfort zone and prove to the world that you are inferior to none. And a country like ours have to do it because we have been underdogs, we have been slaves for several civilizations, and time has come to tell the world we are not the same like what you think. And I think we should do it together. And this mission, I wanted all of you to be a part of it. And such updates like what Preeti Hospital has done today is the way to move forward in this direction on holistic growth, holistic learning, excellence in clinical care, excellence in patient outcome, and overall pushing this country forward. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and it's been a great pleasure talking to all of you and sharing my thoughts. Thank you.